Yo, what's up everyone? It's Avexys here, and today we gotta talk about something big. We have Gears of War Reloaded. It's officially happening. As somebody who's been grinding since like Gears 2 days, I've got some thoughts, you know, some excitement, some concerns, but honestly, we all know that this could change everything. So let's get into it. These are the 5 topics I'm gonna be hitting for this video. We have our absolute initial reaction. We have what Reloaded could mean for the series, our hopes for gameplay and mechanics, esports potentially returning, our concerns and skepticism, and then we're gonna close it out there. So it's definitely gonna get interesting because I know for a fact I'm gonna say some things that some of you guys do not expect me to say. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end and you comment, like, and subscribe for your boy for more. Now, my initial reaction to Gears of War Reloaded's announcement was pretty positive. I was just very excited. I felt like it was a little weird that they kind of shadow dropped it because, you know, it was very unexpected, you know what I mean? Like, all I saw was just it get posted on Twitter. And I'm like, nah, no way. Then I noticed it was the Gears of War 1 cover. So you know, I would say that I felt a little bit like it was a little odd. Like I did predict it. That's probably the reason that I didn't feel like too crazy about it, because I actually did predict this in a while ago, saying it on stream. I was like, if they're gonna give us a remaster, it's probably gonna be an updated version of UE, because they never gave it a true Xbox One Series X like 120 FPS enhancement. So it kind of makes sense for them to go in that direction. And on top of that, we know that you know, PlayStation, they haven't played any of the games. But my overall history with the series, man, just so you guys kind of understand my reaction to it, being Gears 1, I don't mind it being Gears 1. I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest Gears of 1 fan here, because I actually started playing a game in Gears 2, so my connection is more so tied with maybe Gears 2 and 3. You know, I'll probably definitely have a bigger reaction to that. But I will say, definitely love the game. Doesn't matter what it is, because I actually do enjoy UE a little bit, but we'll get into that as well. And this franchise as a whole has just meant a lot to me, so I'm actually just prepared to play anything for the meantime, because I know it's a placeholder game, same way kind of UE was in between what was it, Judgment and 4. So it's kind of a placeholder just to give us something to work with while they finish making the main add-on to the series, you know. Now, what could Reloaded mean for the series? This is a topic I feel like some of you guys need to keep in mind with all the skepticism around it and stuff, man. Yo, hear me out, man, hear me out. Now, some of you guys don't think it's a faithful remaster simply because that we've already had a Gears of War 1 remake, but I really feel like this game is just meant to set the stage for the PlayStation players to actually get involved and have a chance to live out the Gears of War franchise as we had being on Xbox, you know? Clearly guys, I would rather this any day of the week instead of waiting like just for Gears of War E-Day, because what this does, man, we're about to have the biggest player base of all time, most likely, man. We're getting a lot of the players returning that enjoyed the game back in 2006 or whatever, right? We're getting a lot of the ex players, you know what I mean, that went about and went to other communities. And on top of that, we're getting a brand new platform that also enjoys multiplayer games just like us. I was never, like, even since the beginning of time, man, I'm be honest, I have never liked the difference of platforms like holding people apart, bro, because even going back to school and just wanting to play with your friends, bro, the worst thing that would happen to you sometimes, like with you and your boys, is they would just have a PS3, you have a 360, and it's like, okay, the conversation over, bro, you know what I mean? Like, we can't even play together, you know what I mean? So I was never with that. So I think combining this and putting one of the Gears, well, I mean, not the Gears, one of the Xbox's like big 3 on PlayStation, bro, it's gonna make the game explode, man. So we're talking about Gears consistently dying out after a certain amount of times. It's gonna probably feel way different, man, knowing that they're gonna like experience the very beginning of what we had that actually kind of hooks you into the series. And this also kind of could lead up to us getting a collection at some point, or just getting multiple remasters. Like maybe they do E-Day, then they do Gears 2, or they do E-Day and 6 and then Gears 2, but it will definitely come at some point. Now, I think it would have been a little bit weird if they just jumped straight into Gears 2, simply because those PlayStation players, they would have never experienced Gears of War 1 and the actual start of the series, bro. I don't feel like that's correct. I don't think you should skip over a title. So basically, yes, what it could mean for the series is honestly, bro, the most. It could literally mean the most for this series, for this franchise, simply just from a player base aspect, man. This is about to be booming. Now, hopes for gameplay and mechanics. All right, now I know a lot of y'all want to hear me talk about some Nasher fights, some active reloads, you know what I mean, some wall bouncing, whatever, right? But here we go. Let's get into it. All right, my hopes for the gameplay mechanics. Now, I will be honest, we all know it's being built off of Gears of War Ultimate Edition. If you didn't know that, now you do. And I will say personally, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Gears of War 1 is not my favorite style of Gears of War. You know what I mean? I'm definitely more of the wall canceling type. You know, I like to have, you know, a lot of movement and stuff, whatever, right? But I will say that Gears of War UE feels extremely clunky at times, man. The shotgun could not be more inconsistent, but I'm sure those type of things will be smoothed over. Like, I'm not worried about them making the shotgun consistent again, because they actually did a very good job in Gears 5 of making that shotgun very consistent. But I will say, one of the mechanics that definitely does freak me out a little bit, because I know it comes with a lot of different things, is the center screen hip fire and the slide cancel being removed. So hear me out, hear me out. I know some of the OGs ought to be like, no way this guy wants to slide cancel back in. But I will say, I don't mind it being gone, but it just cannot feel as the way it does. And we cannot be playing on this newer equipment with that slow of a game. It's gonna be way too easy, bro. If you've seen any player play this game on PC, bro, I'm not kidding. They pick up a long shot, the entire game slows down to a different degree. Like, I'm talking about what's gonna be promoted here is gonna be significant amount of camping. All right, it's gonna be way different than you guys have known, man. It's gonna be a lot of camping going on. It's gonna be everybody hitting every single shot. So I think what they should do, if they want to keep it non slide canceling, I think they need to speed up some of the core mechanics, like maybe speed up the strafe a little bit, maybe speed up how fast you actually can take cover, and make that smoother of getting off and getting back on cover as well. Now, to go back to what I said, center screen aiming, there's like a few little weird things that happen with it. And I'm sure you guys felt it before. Like, for example, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, if you played Gears of War Ultimate Edition, you would know that hip firing where you're like in very close range, not only does it, I won't say it gets tricky, it actually, like, I just don't think it doesn't feel like a viable option almost ever, to be honest. It feels like the easiest, strongest thing to do in that game is to pop shot repeatedly. And I do not think there should be only one way of shooting, because it doesn't feel like LT is smarting unless you're using like a power weapon, you know? I feel like you should be able to use all three options in a consistent way throughout the entire game. Now, yes, there can be different times and different situations where one is better than the other, but it shouldn't feel like you have to majority only use pop shotting in like every scenario, and that it works in every scenario, you know? I don't think that's smart. So I think they need to figure out a way to maybe close the pellet spread, or I would say maybe even make it where your shotgun goes to the center screen faster. Because there's sometimes where I will up base somebody and I'll hit fire it, and it feels like the gun, it's like it goes from the barrel to the center of the screen. You get what I'm saying? It's very awkward to say it like that. But we've had a lot of Gears of War games now. We've actually had a majority of Gears of War games now being used with the barrel. It's coming out of the barrel, you know what I mean? Instead of going center screen. So they need to find a nice little medium to make it feel way more consistent. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And then on top of it, just the shotgun in general, which I do think is very important. I don't like active reloads given a damage boost. I think that adds in a wild amount of inconsistency in trying to predict how fights will play out if you do not know your opponent has an active, because that's honestly something that you can't really predict at times, man. You can literally run a spawn and pre-active, and I don't think that's ever been like a good mechanic to just be wasting shots just so you can reload, unless they make it like how Gears 5 is, and you can just reload at any time. Okay, that could be something, you know, but even then, I'd rather all like the shotgunners have one consistent damage balance, you know, or boost or whatever it may be, and just have the active reload be the fastest reload possible. I know for some that could feel more so like a competitive mindset being centered around that, and I do think that's okay. I do think there's some things that we don't want to touch too much because it's gonna make the game get away from the casuals. You know, we don't want it to just be fully high skill base. You know, there's some things that is going to be meant just for the enjoyment of the game and for you guys to pick up on. I would even say this, man, and I feel like rolling is a useful factor in certain ways, but I don't think it's useful in how much it should be. I'd never really liked the fact that, like in the newer titles, that rolling honestly just means death. Like if you just roll on accident anytime, or not even just an accident, if you just honestly roll in a gunfight, you kind of just instantly die. I think they just figure out a way where they can make the rolling mechanic be used more in these fights, and you know, used to either take like wider position on somebody that's in cover or whatever it may be, just to make it a useful like tactic in a fight. And then also for more just gameplay changes, I would love, man, for them to add in some old game modes, man. I really think that's needed. You know, I would like Execution 2.0 from Gears 5 to be included, because the stalemates make it hell, bro, especially for competitive players. stalemating to like a million rounds in a row without that that overtime ring. Overtime ring was the best thing that ever happened. So that'd be one thing I would want. Execution 2.0. I would love to see like a return of Wingman. Even though Wingman wasn't in Gears of War 1, I would love to see it come from Gears of War 2 because, you know, it is reloaded. You know, we don't have to have a full-blown Gears of War 1 experience because that can actually get a little boring in my opinion. And then on top of just gameplay, I kind of would want like include this in gameplay as well. I really do hope that we get a rank system. If we could somehow get a rank system involved, even if they copy and paste the recent rank system, like something like from Gears 4, where it's just like it was what, to diamond or whatever it may be. I would love that, man. I do think that having incentives is the best thing about rank, you know. And there should be a ranked and a casual mode, of course, and I think that would just be good for the game. I'm pretty sure you guys would agree on that topic for sure. And that kind of leads into the next thing. I actually do believe we will have some type of esports in Reloaded, simply because I can see like companies seeing it as a huge opportunity to grow whatever esports organization or whatever it may be tournament platform that they're trying to host, simply because everybody really knows the potential that's possible with the PlayStation players coming to the platform, it going back in time. You know, it's going to be a lot of nostalgia, a lot of OGs coming back, whatever it may be, right? And that alone, man, that alone could definitely spark some initiatives for sure. I do think though, if it does go to competitive, I will love those gameplay changes to be added, man, because I will be honest, I absolutely hated esports in Gears of War UE. I loved esports in 3. I loved it in 4 and 5. I did not like it in UE simply because the execution only, I was never really a fan of that. Even though there was a lot of stalemates in 3. 3 was at least a little bit faster paced, and you could kind of, they didn't have as many maps that was stalemate as much. Like, you know, for example, man, Fuel Depot, oh my God, if you guys watch Fuel Depot, bro, people will literally grab the sniper and run to spawn because the two spawns did not spawn at the same distance from each other, meaning one side had a better side to go inside the hangar and get the boom shot for free while the other side didn't. So if you know, if you know that, you just grab the sniper, run to spawn because you don't have a chance to get it anyways. It's like things like that, man. It just gets too many stalemates. Same thing like canals, bro. If you're dealing with professional players, those players are gonna hit every single like headshot with a snipe if they get the opportunity. So it's just better off to just not move at times, you know, and it's just stalemate all around. And those stalemates add up, bro. If this gonna keep on happening, it can make one execution map last for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that's crazy. I've never thought that was a good idea. So that should be definitely be considered if we're gonna have esports again. Then for my personal plans around esports, yes, I will most likely compete in it. You know, I'm not gonna say a team I'll have in mind or anything like that, but yes, I would definitely, you know, I gotta get down with it for sure. Even if I didn't compete in UE, I was too young to compete in UE at the time, but I would definitely do it. Now, our last, and this could be one of the more important topics to some of you guys, are concerns and skepticism. Okay, so I've seen some fears already. I've seen some different concerns that have come out, man, and I know a lot of people are saying, yo, why are they making Gears of War 1 3 times? Now, like I said before, the PlayStation 5 player base, they deserve to start from the beginning just like us, and this kind of puts everybody and resets the game all the way back to 1. So what is good about that for some of you guys? I know the newer players, since we have more games with slide cancel and things like that, they probably want that, but this could kind of remake Gears as a whole, and we can all kind of see what people value more in terms of gameplay, in terms of campaign, and anything, right? And this just, honestly, this is just gonna blow up the game for sure. Now, other things that people are, you know, little concerned for sure is EA's release, right? I think that this kind of confirms that EA may come out in 2026 in November for the 20th anniversary, making this game a placeholder. But there's a chance, man, that this could honestly put certain players away from Gears of War if it's not done correctly, because it's gonna be the first Gears of War experience. So it's like, is it the best thing for them to revisit an older, clunkier, slower looking game where we're in a faster paced era, you know, for just gaming in general? Or is it better for them to actually wait for EA that's gonna possibly be even though like more faster paced? I'll be surprised if they make it in, like, just like UE, because that is another little concern that I have. Now, does that mean EA, are they gonna try to build EA off of Gears UE style gameplay, or are they gonna make it off of Gears 5 style, you know? I do not know. I actually don't know at all. So that could be, you know, something for us to discuss as well. Make sure you comment below for that. And other concerns I really have are I kind of touched them in different categories already. So I pretty much will just leave it at that. To close out the video pretty much though, guys, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this could bring the old players back, build new hype, unite the OG fans with the new generation? Share some content with me. I'd love to see it, you know, some UE things, some old clans, you know, what you guys remember from being like back in the day, of course. This could mean a lot for the community, guys. This could definitely mean a lot for the community, bro. It's gonna be bigger than ever. So make sure you guys are looking out for each other. Teaching, don't just smoke the Sony soldiers, man. All right, I know it might start a little PS5 versus Xbox battles, but I will be doing my best to share tips and get them, you know, as quickly progressed as possible. Okay, I don't want them to get smoked. I want them to also be able to enjoy the game. I know it's a little bit of a rite of passage to get smoked a little bit at the beginning, which is gonna happen, right? But yeah, you guys just let me know your thoughts. I will be making some breakdowns for gameplay. I will be making some tips. I will be doing some reaction streams, all types of competitive analysis, all types of things, you know? And if you're interested in any of that type of stuff, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe for your boy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Gears of War Reloaded.